My parents gave us a car on the wedding day. I gave the keys to my sister, she has children, and we will go to the subway, said my husband, leaving the house. After that, I did what he definitely did not expect. And before we continue, write from which country you are watching the video. Enjoy listening. The wedding was buzzing, sparkled with laughter and music. Emily felt like in a fairy tale, in the center of attention, surrounded by the love of relatives and friends. John, her John, shone next to her, gallant and courteous as she always knew him, or, as it seemed to her, she knew. The restaurant was decorated with impeccable taste. Gentle, creamy shades, lively flowers, placed everywhere, created an atmosphere of subdued romance. Guests made touching toasts, wishing the young man happiness and long years of life together. Emily listened to their words with a smile, feeling the warmth in her chest. She really believed that a bright future was waiting for them, full of love and mutual understanding. When it was Emily's parents' turn, silence reigned. They were people of old temperament, restrained in expressing feelings, but their eyes shone with pride for their daughter. The father, tall and strong, coughed and began to speak. "Dear children, Emily and John, today is a special day for us. We see how our daughter has found her happiness, and we are glad to welcome John into our family." He took a short break, looked at Emily, and in his eyes was read all the fatherly love. "Mum and I thought for a long time what gift to give you for the wedding. We wanted to give you something necessary, practical, but at the same time symbolic, something that will help you build your life together." Emily's mother, a woman with kind eyes and a soft smile, took the floor. "Therefore, we decided to give you a car." Applause was heard in the hall. Emily's parents nodded to the side of the street, and from there they rolled out a new crossover, decorated with a huge bow. Emily gasped with delight. The car was exactly what she dreamed of. Stylish, modern, spacious. "This is for you, children," said the father, handing Emily the keys. "Let this car become your faithful assistant in all your affairs and travels. Remember that it is a symbol of our support and our faith in you." Emily ran up to her parents and hugged them tightly. Tears of joy rolled down her eyes. "Thank you so much," she whispered. "This is the most wonderful gift." John also approached Emily's parents and thanked them by shaking their hands. "Thank you, of course," he said. "Very kind. A car is always needed in the household." Emily noticed that there was no sincere joy that she felt. It seemed to her that he perceived the car rather as a useful acquisition than as a gift made from his pure heart. But she immediately drove away these thoughts. She probably just thought, today is such a happy day, it is not worth clouding it with trifles. The evening went on. Emily danced with John, talked to the guests, received congratulations. She felt like the happiest woman in the world. When the holiday was coming to an end, they and John, tired but happy, returned home. "Thank you for a wonderful evening," Emily said, hugging John. "I am so happy." "Me too," he replied, kissing her forehead. "Time to sleep. Tomorrow I have a lot of work." In the morning, Emily woke up from the bright sunlight piercing through the curtains. She stretched and smiled. Today, her new life began, life in marriage with John. She went down and found that John was no longer sleeping. He was sitting at the kitchen table and drinking coffee. "Good morning, Samantha," he said, smiling. "Good morning," Emily replied, kissing him on the cheek. "What were you doing?" "Yes," John replied. "I was thinking how best to arrange a car and took it to Karen while you were sleeping." Emily frowned. "What do you mean?" "Well, you see, John started to get a little tired. Karen needs a car now. Karen is John's divorced sister, the mother of 3 children. Emily knew that she had a hard time. "And what do you suggest?" Emily asked, feeling anxiety growing inside. "I think," John said, "to give her the car for a while. Well, until she gets up on her feet. She has to take the children to school, go to the stores." Emily was silent, trying to digest what she heard. She could not believe that John made such a decision without consulting her. The car was given to both of them. It was their common gift. Why did he decide that he could dispose of it unilaterally? "Are you serious?" Emily asked, trying to keep calm. "Did you give our car to Karen without my knowledge?" "Well, temporarily," John hurried to add, "just to help your sister." "You do not mind, do you?" Emily looked at him, not believing her ears. She remembered all those cases when John made decisions for her without asking her opinion, when he chose furniture for their apartment, when he decided where they would go on vacation, when he insisted that she quit her job because it was more convenient for him. All these little things that she swallowed so as not to inflate the conflict. "And here's another example. John," Emily said, trying to speak calmly, "it's not about the car. The point is that you made a decision for me again. You didn't even ask what I think about it." "Well, Emily," John said, "don't start. It's just a car. You don't mind helping my sister, do you?" Emily felt anger boiling inside her. It was too much. "No, John," she said in a firm voice. "I'm against you making decisions for me. I'm against you not respecting my opinion. And yes, I'm against you giving our car to Karen without consulting me." John looked at her, surprised and irritated. He clearly did not expect such a reaction. "Well, what do you propose?" he asked, crossing his hands on his chest. A conflict was brewing inside Emily, like a slowly burning fire. Moments came to mind when her opinion was not just ignored, but as if it did not exist at all. The choice of a restaurant for the wedding, the color of the curtains in the living room, even the brand of the washing powder, everything was decided by John unilaterally. Earlier, Emily wrote it down for his strong character, for the desire to do the best, but now a clear picture was drawn in front of her. Her voice did not matter. "Emily, well, what are you starting? It's just a car. Karen is having a hard time now. 3 children, 1 to cope." A slight irritation sounded in his voice as if she was picking on trifles. "It's just a car," echoed in Emily's head. It was not about the car. The point was that her opinion was ignored again, as if she was not a wife, but an application to John, a function intended to approve his decisions. Emily felt like a computer was approaching her throat. She wanted to scream, cry, express everything that had accumulated over the past time, but she held back. Instead, she spoke in an even voice. "John, it's not about helping Karen. The point is that this is our common budget, our common property, and I want us to make important decisions together." John turned to her, frowning. "Emily, well, what are you doing? I explained everything. Karen needs it. Are you sorry for your sister's car?" He skillfully translated the conversation into the plane of her alleged greed, making her feel guilty. Emily doubted for a moment. Maybe she's really selfish? Maybe she's exaggerating the problem? "I'm not saying I feel sorry. I'm saying you should have consulted with me. We are a family, not a boss and subordinate." John sighed, rolling his eyes. "Emily, don't start again. You know I know better than anyone." This phrase became the last drop. Emily realized that it couldn't go on like this. She had to do something to change the situation. She had to show John that her opinion mattered, that she was a personality, not just a convenient wife. She got up and left the room, leaving John confused and watching her. The next morning, while John was at work, Emily began to act. She remembered the words her parents said at the wedding. "We give this car to both of you so that you can build your future together." She took the documents for the car in a folder with papers and carefully rechecked them. She is the owner of the car. It was a small but important victory. Now she had a lever of influence. She was not going to make a scandal or drive hysterics. She decided to act calmly and calculatedly. Emily drove up to Karen's house. The breath was smooth, but inside everything was compressed into a tight lump. She tried to keep calm, as her mother taught her as a child when she had to defend her interests. The small house where Karen lived with her children looked modest but well-groomed. Two boys were playing in the yard, and a child's laughter was heard from the window. The boys immediately ran up to her. "Hello," Emily said, trying to smile. "Where is your mother?" "At home," said the older boy. 7 years old. Mom is cooking soup now. Will you call her? I need to talk to her." The boy ran into the house, and soon Karen appeared on the threshold. She was wearing an old robe. Her hair was in a messy bun. She looked tired but friendly. When she saw Emily, she was a little gloomy. "Emily, did something happen?" Karen asked, looking around anxiously. "Hi, Karen." "Yes, we need to talk. It's about the car." Emily pointed to the crossover. Karen sighed. "I knew it wouldn't end well. John said it was temporary until he solved my problems." "I understand," calmly replied Emily. "But the car is registered to me and I want to take it." Karen's face was distorted. "Are you serious? After everything I've been through, knowing how difficult it is for me with children? Karen, I don't want you to feel offended, but John did not consult with me when he decided to give you the car. It was a gift from my parents, and I think he did wrong, ordering them without my knowledge. It's not about you and the kids, it's about respect, and that I also have the right to a voice in our family." Karen was silent, thinking about Emily's words. A mixture of resentment and understanding was seen in her eyes. "Okay," she finally said, "I understand. Take it. But tell John that he was mean. He promised to help me. I will definitely say." Emily nodded. "Thank you for understanding." Karen hid in the house and returned with the keys in a minute. Emily pulled them out, avoiding eye contact. Emily took the keys and got in the car. She started the engine and slowly left the yard. It was hard on the soul, but at the same time there was a sense of freedom. She did what she thought was right. In the evening, when the sun began to set, Emily sat down at the kitchen table. She took a sheet of paper and a pen. It was necessary to write to John. She thought for a long time, choosing words. She wanted him to understand that it was not about the car, but about their relationship. She finally wrote a short note. "You made a decision without me. Now I did the same. If you want, we'll talk like equals." Emily carefully folded the note and put it in a visible place. Then she got up and went home to her parents. "Mom, Dad, can I talk to you for a minute?" Having arrived, Emily called them from the doorstep. It was heard how the parents turned off the TV and hurried to her. There was concern in their eyes. "What happened, daughter?" asked the mother. Emily sighed. "I left John." There was silence in the room. Father frowned and Mother clenched her hand tightly. "What happened? Did he offend you?" asked Father. His voice sounded threatening. "Not quite," Emily replied. "It's not about offense, but disrespect. He constantly makes decisions for me without asking for my opinion. He gave our car to his sister without even consulting me. This was the last drop." "And you did the right thing by leaving," supported her mother. "You should not tolerate such a relationship. You deserve respect and love." "But, daughter, are you sure?" asked Father, softening his tone. "Maybe we should talk to him, give him a chance to cope?" "I think I gave him enough chances, Father," Emily replied. "I tried to talk to him many times, but he did not listen. Now I want to live here with you. I need time to think and understand what I really want." "Of course, the daughter," her mother hugged. "You can stay here as long as you need. We will always support you." Emily clung to her mother, feeling the tension gradually retreating. She knew that her parents would always be on her side. John returned home late in the evening. It was quiet and dark in the apartment. He got used to the fact that Emily was always waiting for him with dinner. But today there was nothing on the table but a folded note. He took it in his hands and read it. Anger instantly flared up in him. How dare she, he thought. He rushed to the phone and dialed Emily's number. "Where are you?" He rang the phone as soon as she answered. "I'm with my parents," Emily calmly answered. "Do you even understand what you've done?" he screamed. "You took my sister's car. You made me a complete idiot in front of her and her children." Emily took a deep breath, trying to stay calm. She was ready for this conversation and knew that the main thing was not to give in to the provocation. "John, I understand that you're upset," she said with a steady voice. "But please listen to me. It's not about the car, but about how you make decisions without considering me." "What do you mean without considering?" "I wanted to help my sister. She needs the car more than we do. And you asked me if I wanted to help your sister in this way. It was a gift from my parents to me. You didn't even think about my feelings when you just gave it to Karen." There was silence on the phone. Emily almost physically felt as if John's anger was gradually being replaced by doubt. "But, Karen, she is the only one raising 3 children," he muttered. "And I sympathize with Karen," Emily replied. "But that doesn't give you the right to control my things without my consent. This is my car, John, and you didn't have the right to give it to anyone." Okay, he gave up. "I understand. I got angry. But why did you take the car? You could have just talked to me." "I tried to talk to you, John, many times," Emily said, and her voice carried a tiredness. "But you never listened. You always acted as you thought necessary, not paying attention to my words." "Do you remember how you chose the wallpaper in our bedroom without even showing me the samples? Do you remember how you enrolled us in tennis classes, although I wanted to do yoga? Always like this. You decide everything." Emily kept silent, giving John the opportunity to reflect on what was said. Only his heavy breath was heard on the line. I didn't know you felt that way," he finally said. "I thought I was doing my best." "This is the problem, John," Emily replied. "You always do your best. For yourself, not for us. You perceive me not as a partner, but as an attachment to yourself." After these words, a long pause hung. Emily felt different emotions battling inside her. Anger, resentment, disappointment, and hope that John would finally hear her and understand what she needed. "What should I do now?" John asked quietly. For the first time, genuine confusion was in his voice. "Think, John," Emily replied. "Think about what I told you. Think about what equality in marriage means. And think about whether you are ready to change." Emily put down the phone. She knew that this conversation was only the first step. There was still a lot of work ahead, a lot of conversations and a lot of tests, but she was ready for them. She was no longer going to be silent and tolerate. Emily was going to fight for her happiness and for her right to be heard. In the following days, John called every day. He apologized, promised to change, assured that he loved her and could not live without her. Emily listened to him, but was not in a hurry to answer. She wanted to make sure that his words were not just empty promises, but a sincere desire to become a different person. She spent time with her parents, walked in the park, read books, and just enjoyed silence and peace. She felt how she was gradually returning to herself, to the Emily she had once lost in her relationship with John. She remembered her dreams, her hobbies, her values, and she understood that she would not let anyone, even her beloved husband, push them aside. One evening, Karen came to her. She looked embarrassed and guilty. "Emily, I wanted to apologize," she said, lowering her eyes. "I didn't know John gave the car without your consent. If I had known, I would never have taken it." "I know, Karen," Emily replied. "I don't blame you. I blame John." "He's very worried," Karen said. "He says he made a big mistake and is afraid to lose you." "Let him worry," Emily replied. "He needs to understand that his actions have consequences." Karen nodded. "I hope you make up," she said. "You are a good couple." "I also hope, Karen," Emily replied, "but it depends on John." 2 weeks passed. John continued to call, write, and come to Emily's parents' house. He brought flowers, gifts, and begged her to come back. Emily remained unyielding. She told him that she would come back only when she saw real changes in his behavior. One evening, John came with an unexpected offer. "Emily, I understand that you need time to believe me," he said. So I offer you the following. Let's live separately for another month. I will come to you every week and we will talk. I will tell you about my thoughts, about my feelings, about my plans, and I will do everything you ask to prove to you that I have changed. Emily thought. It was a reasonable offer. It was a chance for John to prove his words. Okay, John, she said, I agree, but remember that this is your last chance. For the next month, John really tried. He came to Emily every week and told her about his life. He admitted that he was always afraid to seem weak and therefore tried to control everything around him. He said that he realized that it was a mistake and that he wanted to learn to be more open and honest. He also fulfilled all of Emily's requests. He helped her parents with the repair. He signed up for a psychologist. He even learned to make her favorite pie. Emily watched him and gradually began to believe in his sincerity. She saw that he was really trying to change and that he truly loved her. In a month, Emily decided to return to John. She knew that their relationship would never be the same, but she believed that they could build new, healthier, and more mature relationships based on mutual respect, trust, and love. When she returned home, John met her with a bouquet of flowers and tears in his eyes. I'm so glad you're back, he said. I promise I'll never disappoint you again. Emily hugged him. I'm glad I'm back too, she said. But remember that now both of us are in charge. They entered the house together, hand in hand, a long and difficult road, but they were ready to go through it together as equal partners.